What's up, YouTube? I'm here to do my prediction video for UFC Fight Night Pettis versus Thompson. Let's start at the bottom. The first fight is Eric Shelton versus Jordan Espinoza. And to me, Espinoza is good, well-rounded. I mean, he's got good wrestling, good striking. I just think Eric Shelton's a little bit better of a striker, and I think his takedown defense is better than Jordan's offense. I think Eric Shelton's just a little bit more athletic overall, and I think he should be able to keep it on the feet. It's going to be really close, but I'm just slightly leaning towards Eric. I think he's just the better athlete overall, and I think that's going to help him edge out a close split decision. Next, we got Ryan McDonald versus Chris Gruetzemacher, and Chris Gruetzemacher looked decent in his UFC debut. I think he's fighting somebody way too good. This is tough just because Ryan McDonald's undefeated 10-0, and he looks like a solid up-and-comer. But it's hard to tell how great he is because I feel like some of the guys he fought were kind of easy sauce competition. And Chris Gruetzemacher, even though his record's like 13-4, he's only fought really good people. So it's tough. I'm slightly leaning towards Ryan. I think he's just a little bit better, but this one's probably one of the tougher ones to call. I think Ryan's just a little bit better of a striker. I think he just hits a little bit hard, and I think that's going to either get him a late TKO or just slightly edge him out the round. So I'm going with Ryan. Next, we got Randa Marcos versus Angela Hill, and this is 100% striker versus grappler. This is just whoever keeps it where they're strongest. Randa, like I said, she's got good judo, good takedowns. If she can get on top and keep it there, I think she'll win. And if Angela Hill keeps on the feet, she'll win. It's a coin flip. It's just whoever you think is better. I'm going to go towards Randa, but like I said, I feel like this is super close. But yeah, I'm going to go with Randa. I think she wins by decision. Next, we got Alexis Davis versus Jennifer Maia, and Jennifer Maia looked decent in her UFC debut. I just feel like she had a hard time stuffing takedowns, and I feel like Alexis Davis has looked amazing. Honestly, I thought she won her last fight. I think she should be the one fighting for the belt next. I felt like she's won all her fights since moving to flyweight, and she's looked great. And even though she did lose her last fight, I felt like she should have won it. To me, Jennifer Maia, I think on the feet this fight will be close, but I think Alexis Davis is going to hit the takedowns when she needs to, and I think that's just going to edge her out the rounds. It'll probably be a fun back and forth fight, but like I said, I just think Alexis has the better wrestling, and she'll get the takedowns and edge out the decision. Next, we got Frankie Saenz versus Marlon Vera, and it's kind of like striker wrestler versus striker jiu-jitsu guy. And I know that Frankie Saenz has such strong wrestling that he could probably edge this, but I just think Marlon Vera is the much better striker and the more durable guy. I think this fight is going to take place on the feet for the most part, and like I said, I think Marlon Vera has shown much more improved strides in his overall game than Frankie Saenz has. To me, Frankie Saenz is just using his wrestling better. But like I said, I don't think that's what he's going to do in this fight because I think Marlon Vera is the better ground fighter overall. I think that what's been working for him in his last couple of fights is, like I said, he's just mixing his wrestling a lot more, and he's probably just going to try to box with Marlon Vera, and Marlon Vera's striking has been looking better and better every fight, and I think he's just got a better chin, and he has more power in his hands. So I got Marlon Vera. I think he's going to eventually catch Frankie Saenz and win by like second round knockout. Next, we got Bryce Mitchell versus Bobby Moffitt, and this is 100% like wrestler jiu-jitsu guys going at it. This could be a striking fight for 3 rounds. You never know. That tends to happen with these type of fights, but I feel like if it's on the ground, I'm slightly leaning towards Bryce. I think he's just a physically stronger guy overall, and I think he's also better off his back. I think Bobby Moffitt isn't the greatest off his back. I think Bryce is better at scrambling to get on top if he needs to, and I think he's going to win at least 2 of the 3 rounds. You know, Bobby Moffitt's probably a little bit better of a striker overall, technically. But like I said, I just think Bryce is the better grappler, and I think this will be a grappling fight for the most part. And I think, like I said, I think he just, if he is on bottom, he'll scramble to the top, and I think he will hit takedowns when he needs to, and at least win 2 of the 3 rounds. So I got Bryce Mitchell winning by decision. Next, we got Marcin Bayer versus J.J. Aldridge, and Aldridge is a good striker. You know, she's on a good win streak, but this is 100% the UFC just trying to set up an easy win for Marcin. I don't know if it'll be easy, but I do think that if Marcy gets it to the ground, she's just going to dominate JJ. And so we're going to see how good where Marcy is, because I think on the feet JJ is better, but I think on the ground Marcy's like 5 times better. So we're going to see if she can get to the ground, she'll win. If she can't get to the ground, then that's kind of her ceiling, because JJ Aldridge is not like the highest level chick when it comes to takedown defense. I really don't think it's going to be close. I think Marcy will get it to the ground. I think once she does, she's just going to ground and pound the crap out of JJ and win by TKO probably in like the second round. Next, got Luis Pena versus Steven Peterson. And I like Steven Peterson. He's a fun guy to watch, but I think he's just one of those guys that's just, he's got good skills everywhere, but he's just not quite UFC level. Even though he won his last fight, we've seen it a lot in his fights. I think he's like 1-2 in the UFC. he's fun to watch. He's good everywhere. He's just not great, and he's not quite UFC level. I think Luis Pena, he lost that fight to Mike Trizano, but he's probably going to get better. And I saw his ground game looked a lot better than I thought it was. His striking game also was good, but his ground game was way better than I thought. And I think that he's just the better prospect at this point, and realistically, he's probably gotten a lot better since that loss to Mike Trizano. And I think that, like I said, his striking is probably going to be better, and his grappling is going to be a little bit better. And I think he's either going to get a late finish or win by decision. But I got Luis Pena. Next, we got Jussier Formiga versus Deiveson Figueiredo, and I know a lot of people are high on Figueiredo just because he's undefeated, like 14-0, 4-0 in the UFC. But I think people are forgetting like his first 3 fights. Like he got taken down quite a few times. Like the fight against John Moraga, he looked great, but John Moraga isn't a super offensive takedown guy unless he needs to be. And I felt like, people are forgetting like his first 2 fights where he got taken down quite a few times. I feel like if Jussier takes him down, it's completely different than those other guys that were taking him down, because he trains with, like Yuri Alcantara, and Yuri Alcantara is a great fighter. He's got good striking, good jiu-jitsu, but he's not the greatest takedown defense guy, and I think Figueiredo fights just like Yuri. I think he's got great striking, great jiu-jitsu, but he's not the best takedown defense guy. And I think that's what we're going to see. I think sooner or later, Jussier is going to get this to the ground. And I think when Jussier is on top of him, he's either not going to get back up or he's going to get caught in a rear naked choke. I think that's what we're going to see. I think striking-wise, Deiveson's the better striker, but Jussier has good enough striking where he can stand with him. I think on the ground it's completely different. Figueiredo, Figueiredo has good enough jiu-jitsu to survive there, but I don't know if he'll be able to, beat him on the ground. I think Jussier is just at least 2 steps ahead of him in any jiu-jitsu situation, and I think Jussier is going to win either by decision or rear naked choke. Next, we got John Makdessi versus De Jesus. Can't say his last name. And John Makdessi, to me, this is 100% striker versus striker, and I think John Makdessi is just a much better striker. I think John Makdessi, a combination of like some injuries here and there that kept him out for a few months, and 2 really shitty decisions have kind of slowed his UFC career down. But he's gone 3-1 in his last 4 fights, and he's won his last 2, and we're starting to see him get that momentum back, and we're starting to see, people kind of underestimated him just because he had a couple of losses that he shouldn't have lost. But, I think people are starting to realize how good he is again, and I think that's what's going to happen this way. We're going to see how good he is again. Because, like I said, this is 100% 2 good strikers, but one of them is much better, and I think that's John Makdessi. I think sooner or later, John Makdessi is going to knock this guy out, and I say he wins by, like, 2nd-round KO. Next, we got Curtis Blaydes versus Justin Willis, and Justin Willis has looked good in his UFC fight so far, but I just don't think he has the type of overall striking dynamic to knock out Curtis Blaydes. I think he has very good technical striking, and he has a good pace, good takedown defense and all that, but I just don't think it's as good as Curtis's is. A lot of the guys that have beaten Curtis, it's only really fucking Francis Ngannou beat him twice, but Curtis, there were fights that he won that he was close to losing because he got caught. Those guys were fast, explosive strikers. To me, Justin Willis is just a clean technical striker. I don't feel like he has the type of speed and like one-punch power to knock out Curtis like how some of those other guys almost did when they almost beat him. I think Curtis, he gets stronger as the fight goes on, and the chance of catching him decreases every round. And I think that's what's going to happen in this fight. I think Curtis is just going to clinch up with Justin, and I think the longer this goes, the more Curtis is just going to wear Justin out. And I don't think he'll finish Justin, but I think he's just going to wear him down every round and do more damage every round and just win a dominant 30-27 decision. Finally, we got Stephen Thompson versus Anthony Pettis, and I like Anthony Pettis a lot, but he's not going to win this fight unless he gets really lucky. I feel like there's too much of a size advantage for Thompson. Pettis is definitely the better grappler, but he's not a great wrestler. He did have great takedown offense at lightweight. And Stephen Thompson, Johnny Hendricks had a hard time taking him down. There's no way Pettis is going to get this to the ground unless he gets lucky. Like I said, I think striking-wise, they're probably pretty close, but like I said, Stephen Thompson is just way bigger, and I think that's going to play a huge factor. I think that he's going to be able to keep the fight where he wants to because of his karate. I don't think he's going to hit the ground, and I think Thompson's either going to win by decision or knockout. Like I said, striking-wise, they're close, but Thompson's just the much bigger guy and better controlling the range, and the size is just going to help, the size and the reach. So I got Thompson winning either by decision or knockout. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe.